So, Claudio Bravo had an interesting introduction to not just English football, but Manchester in general at the weekend. Sparks the question, Josh, as the editor of Read Man City and a Man City fan as well. Is he actually better than Joe Hart?
Well, Pep certainly seems to think he's a lot better with his feet. I'm not sure how much you saw that in the derby. I mean, it was his first game. I mean, I know he's a fully fledged international and what have you, but it's always going to take some sort of adapting, new league, new environment. With his feet, I thought he did look good, but goalkeeping is quite important to be good with your hands as well. And he proved for that cross that he has got moments of shakiness in him. But I do think at the same time, maybe there's a communication problem there with. I mean, John Stones is English. Claudio Bravo don't really speak English.
He's definitely shouting something, though.
Yeah, he was. It seems like he was shouting to leave it, but maybe big Johnny Stones didn't fancy listening, and we can see the goal.
Fancy just leaving it, is it? Yeah. I think what Josh is saying is right to some extent. We'll do it we're doing it for the topic for the sake of it. In some instances, we'll come on to Joe Hart in a minute, but in terms of adapting to the league, it's all well and good being very good with your feet, but there is a distinct pace difference between the Premier League and La Liga. So he's coming in. We saw it as just a completely different example of it. Like Fernando Morientes had been a top level centre forward, came to Liverpool, and it was like the ball was a ghost to him. He'd have it, and then he'd look up and he'd look down. It was gone because he just wasn't physically capable of adapting. The guy in his 30s, Bravo's not a young man either. It's going to take him time.
When it comes to closing the keeper down, I've been to a football match in Spain, and it was the slowest, most boring thing I've ever been to in my life. And it was like I just did not want to watch football there. Everything happened so slowly. Bravo gets the ball. He's probably thinking I've got like 10 minutes until we get over to me in Spain. And what happens in England? Bang, straight into him. No messing around. And do you know what? I think the other thing that he's done there is he's tried to prove that he's good with his feet a little bit too much, and he started doing like not the Cruyff turns, but he's trying to turn into the strikers and stuff, and that's not what you need to do. To prove you're good with your feet, just deal with it. Yeah, just deal with it properly.
It's interesting. We had a conversation on Redmond earlier, Ped, and it was about Daniel Sturridge. In this instance, it was about how he spent too much time trying to prove himself instead of just proving himself. And there could be a case of that with Bravo, that, like Chris says, he's come in and gone, well, I've been brought in to do this. I best show people that this is what I can do.
I mean, I'm sure there's a case for that, but I just think that's his natural game. I think that's why he wants him. I think that I know what you're saying there, but it was his first game, and it was a frantic Manchester derby, and he'd been caught out for trying to punch the ball out. I mean, that's his biggest mistake. Forget about anything he's done with his feet. He's come for a ball he shouldn't have got anywhere near. Should have let his defenders deal with it. Yeah. And so that's his big mistake. Everything else is just part of the game as far as I'm concerned. And he'll catch up on that. And I know what you're saying here about it being slow, but if he's good with his feet, he'll actually deal better with fast forwards coming at him, because he'll just give them the shoulder. Or I've seen him do that loads of times for Barcelona, and that's the difference. I think what Pep Guardiola's trying to do is he's trying to set the pace for his team. He's trying to make games either as fast or as slow as he wants them to be, and he starts that with the keeper. Yeah. It sounds weird to us, but the keeper's the orchestrator. He's the person who slows the tempo down or speeds it up, and that's with his feet, because he's a good passer, long and short. Yeah. So, I mean, look, the funny thing is, probably the pass of the game was De Gea, who passed the ball out wide to the left, and
unbelievable.
Man United nearly got in. It was a fantastic header away. And that just shows you, if you've got a keeper with good feet, how quickly situations... City were at the corner, and 5-10 seconds later, Man United had the corner because of the goalie's feet.
The hardest thing, I guess, just for it, is that the spotlight was going to be on him, doubly so because it was the Manchester derby, and especially there's just it's a crazy situation, because you've got Joe Hart made his debut for Torino as well, and there's a video and it's being titled like Joe Hart this drops a clanger, disastrous start, and yet at the same time the media are also at the same time going, who's this clown who's replacing Joe Hart? It's fucking mental.
He's already been labelled a weak link as well. I mean, that's just the fickle nature of our the way we react to debuts and such. But I think in the long term, he will come good. But I think he's only trained with the defence once. It wasn't ideal after coming straight into a derby after an international break, so he couldn't really get settled as he would have liked to have done. But I think in the long term, we'll see the benefit of his style of goalkeeping more than we'll see the errors and that.
You can look at you look at De Gea there. He's taken nearly 2 years to get used to the league.
De Gea had
to
it as soon
take
as
him
he
off the
came in.
side when he played against teams that they knew were going to throw the ball down his neck.
Yeah.
He's going to get a lot of that this season because people will now be looking at it going, that's where that is the weak link. That's until he proves that he's not. And he will prove that he's not.
And I thought that was the perfect environment for him to actually start that.
Trial by fire.
You might exactly. He's made a mistake, and now they can just say, "Don't do that again."
I think people are going to try that in general against though, because we were laughing about it before. Sky Sports News had Steve McClaren, Dean Saunders analysing his performance, and then they went on to analyse Liverpool, and Dean Saunders does this like, well, you know, Liverpool overplayed from the back, and it's just this playing out from the back, it just gets you in trouble, doesn't it? Dean Saunders, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like I'm no more qualified to analyse it, but you can't come and say what's Pep Guardiola doing with this style of football that let's face it, the best footballing teams actually
maybe
do.
He's got nightmares of Paul Elliott playing out from the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's these are the things. But this is what you've got people in the mainstream media going, I don't understand. It's like zonal marking, isn't it? I don't understand it, so it's probably shit. Move on.
I just tend to look at Pep Guardiola's record and think he's done all right, hasn't he?
Probably knows what he's doing.
He's doing all right. It's like when you say, I don't think he should be playing tonight. I think the manager knows a little bit more than you do.
Yeah. It's absolute bollocks, isn't it? When you see look, Pep Guardiola, and he's rightly said it, and Klopp's come out and said it similarly, and the managers who do it stand by the guns. He's not going to throw his way of playing out the window because his goalkeeper gets put under a little pressure. He's going to offer his goalkeeper new avenues to be better in those situations.
Did you not like the way he sort of went down the Rodgers route after the game? I said it was one of the best performances he's ever seen from when Guardiola and Bravo. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That was interesting. I didn't see that, to be fair.
An interesting way to react to your goalkeeper making a mistake, I think.
So, yeah. Look, some of the best managers in the world shoulder the blame, don't they, and hide blame, especially when it comes to the media in England. What I loved about City in the derby more than anything was the way that they played kind of like Barcelona for periods, but so much faster. Like the one-touch passing from, there was a good 20-minute period where you're thinking, if they can do this for 90 minutes, they actually will walk the league, because some of that stuff that they were doing is incredible. The movement's incredible. Dropping Silva and De Bruyne a little bit deeper and just pulling the strings. The football was amazing.
I think that's where he's a bit of a genius, though, Pep Guardiola, isn't he? Because he wants to test himself in all different kinds of circumstances. He knows the way Barcelona played isn't going to sit well in England. Not only from a fan's point of view of watching the game, but also that you just can't get away with it.
There's an evolution, isn't it? Because you start at Barcelona, you start at Barcelona, and you get like the fundamentals of the technique of it all right. Then you go to Germany and you improve the physicality, and then you move to England and you add pace on top, and then from there, theoretically, how you're ever going to stop that? Just to go back a point though. I think you're right. I think there's nothing wrong with managers defending players, although there does come a threshold.
I
because
fucking hate it.
Bobby Martinez and Tim Howard, don't you? Kind of situation. But this is it. Ultimately, he's got the time, he's got the credit in the bank to be able to do that and to be able to say this is the way we're playing.
The thing about it is,
going to stop him doing that.
He's not
definitely not Dean Saunders.
He doesn't even know who Dean Saunders is.
Oh, okay.
But the good thing for City is, he hasn't just bought this player going, oh, he's a good player. He knows him, him in and out. Yeah. He knows, he knows all his strengths and his weaknesses. He's the one he wanted. And
also, to be fair though, the thing is, not everything's going to be. He's not going to get everything perfect. No. There is a good chance that Bravo. I wasn't a big Bravo fan. He always felt like Barcelona and Real always had those backup goalkeepers who were just dead agile but a bit shaky in various places. I don't know if he's going to be good enough for City. He might prove not to be, but that. You will get some things wrong because it is his first season in charge. He'll have a better idea come the end of next year. Wouldn't surprise me if you went out and bought the 22-year-old version of him in the next summer and moved on from there.
Do you think as well though that having Bravo is almost like a coaching aid on the pitch? Yeah. Like if you've got Hart, and Hart will just go. He's very headstrong. You've seen him in the post-match interviews. If there's a situation, Hart will just go, get up, and I'm just going to knock it long. Whereas this fella just keep on doing the same thing, and it will make those defenders drop into wide fullback areas, take the ball and play in any circumstance. And I think that's a really interesting thing to have on the pitch, where Hart will just go, no, I'll do what's best for on the team, and we'll sort it out afterwards. With Bravo being, no, this is the way we play, so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, completely agree with that. It's going to be very interesting to see how it develops, hopefully really badly.
Because then that'll just help Man United win the league.
Well, no, they're not going to win the league. It's just terrifying prospect. Let us know anyway. In fact, no, actually, before we wrap up, Joe Hart, we watched that. Joe Hart.
John Hart.
He's changed his name now, hasn't he?
John Hart.
As per the team sheet.
It's on the team sheet,
Oh,
John
really?
Hart. Yeah.
Amazing. Maybe he thought he did it on
It is
purpose.
in his name though. He is called
and he had a moustache.
Charles John Joseph Hart. His name.
Wow.
A moustache.
Oh yeah, just decided to keep
And also
part of his hair
another thing. Have you noticed he's now wearing short sleeve goalkeeping shirts? So he's adapting to the culture already.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Thought he looked ridiculous.
What's going on there?
I like the fact that if you watch that clip of him, they've got, in Italy apparently you can do that old goalkeeper thing where you wear the same shorts and socks as your outfield players. Mental, love it.
Yeah. I like that when he shouted though, "Hey, what's the matter with you?"
It's me, John Hart.
How am I gonna win?
With my shorts and socks.
That wasn't that bad of a mistake. He comes out, he gets a little bit of a touch on a cross, and then it doesn't get cleared. It's hardly like the disaster, Joe Hart. Fucking ridiculous. Get on yourselves, media, and also us for stealing that for the title. Let us know your thoughts on Claudio Bravo's performance. Do you think he'll get better, or do you think this is just all we've got to look forward to from him this season, which would be amazing? And your thoughts on Joe Hart as well in the comments below. Still to come, Liverpool's title credentials, or even top 4 credentials. No pressure, Paul. Well done. Shit. And also,
He's one of them. It's wankers.
And also, were Chelsea robbed? Were they robbed? Stay tuned and watch those vids.